grown all over the world. There are more than 200 different varieties of plums. They range from cherry size to baseball size, and the flavors range from super sweet to tart. And there's something kind of romantic about plums. They're mentioned in poetry, in some legends they symbolize good fortune, and the delicious scent and showy beauty of a plum tree in full bloom is a delight of spring. I'm Charity Nebbe. On this episode of Iowa Ingredient, we'll taste a plum variety grown at Upstream Gardens in central Iowa. Then we'll learn from one of our favorite chefs, Tom Skold from Restoration in Decorah, as he cooks decadent plum recipes with us in our studio kitchen. All that and more coming up next on Iowa Ingredient.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient has been provided by a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business. Located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines, details are at embassyclub.com. Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation.
It's the pit of the plum that tells us that it's in the same family as peaches and nectarines. They're all classified as drupes because of that stone pit that surrounds their seeds. And it's the juiciness of plums that make them a true culinary asset. They are baked, poached, and sauced into many different kinds of dishes. But they're also good dried. You may know them as prunes, but they have had a little bit of an image makeover recently, and they're often sold as dried plums. Any way you choose to eat them, they're delicious. Since the early 19th century, the word plum has been used to describe something prized, the choice piece in a collection or a coveted assignment. Chris Gorman's plum job is at Upstream Gardens and Orchard near Altoona, where he's been picking these prized stone fruits for years.
We've been out here doing this for 15 years since we moved out here in '04. Just really enjoyed doing all the outside stuff in the gardening, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it made sense to start selling it instead of just giving it away to family. I like plums. Everything I put in originally is because it was stuff that we wanted for ourselves. We just did a few trees for fresh eating, and now I'm up to a dozen plums.
Chris grows a variety of fruit trees and other crops here. In addition to selling his produce at farmers markets, he offers his customers the opportunity to come to his farm, look around, and enjoy the peace and quiet. And if you don't have the time or the desire to pick, he's happy to do it for you.
We have raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. We do a lot of garden produce, about 2 acres of sweet corn, and then apples, peaches, pears, plums, and then we do honey and have bees.
Because a late frost can be devastating, there are not a lot of plums grown commercially in Iowa. Chris has never been one to go with the flow. In fact, that's how Upstream Gardens got its name. He thinks the diverse and delicious plums are worth taking a chance on.
Plums are a lot of fun. You can make wine out of them. You can eat them fresh. The larger plums, you can dry them and make your own prunes if you want to. It's just very versatile. A lot of things you can do with them.
There are several varieties that do thrive in Iowa. 4 of them are grown here. Today, Chris is picking Toka plums, also known as bubblegum plums for their richly flavored, spicy sweet, apricot-colored flesh. He says they're actually very easy to grow.
I don't tend to do a whole lot with mine. I don't like to spray. We are a natural facility. I don't use any herbicides or pesticides, mostly because I don't want my bees getting into the pesticides. Occasionally, if I have a really bad year with bug problems, I will put lures up in the trees. Pretty much any fruit tree, you're gonna have to trim it. You either head them back, which is just shortening them up so they don't get so long and thin that they break off when the fruit gets too heavy, or thin them out, like you get one coming up in the middle of the tree where it's cluttering up the center, and you actually trim it completely out so that it doesn't grow back.
Most varieties mature between July and September in this part of the world. Plums smell sweet and fruity when they're ready to pick, and have the best flavor when they're left to ripen on the tree.
If you look at some of these, most of them are yellow. When they start to get a deep red color like that, and they start to feel soft, that one's ripe. It's a very small one, but that's a ripe plum there. It gets a little bit of that dark purple, and then it's not hard anymore. These are very hard still.
Most Americans enjoy eating their plums fresh, but their marvelous potential in the kitchen also helps to make them a fun and rewarding fruit to grow. The very talented chef Tom Skold runs Restoration, located in the historic Hotel Winneshiek in downtown Decorah. Chef Tom serves up a number of exquisite meals for patrons using fresh Iowa fruits, vegetables, and meats. Though he uses local ingredients throughout the year, during the summer months you'll find him looking for inspiration and new ideas at one of his favorite locations.
Well, this time of year, it's the farmer's market, totally. It just doesn't get any better than the middle of the summer, and walking right over that farmer's market and just seeing what there is, seeing what the best is that they have to offer. I just have to show up. Ideas are right there in front of me. This radicchio, it's just exquisite, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna figure it out later. To go down to the market on a Wednesday afternoon or a Saturday morning and just see what is absolutely at its peak, doesn't get any better than that. I'm gonna wait my turn, get the lowdown on those currants. She has them every year, and I forget. The Goldens, I think, would be good. You can't really take good fruit out of place. The French have a word for it, and it's called terroir, but it's the sense that the elemental stuff of an area finds its way all the way into the flavor and makeup of food that gets produced in the area. Thanks for growing that pea vine. That is beautiful stuff. You know, people came here because, you know, they wanted abundance. They wanted a place where there was plenty, and this is it. And Iowa is just absolutely it. We can grow anything here. If you can't grow it in Iowa, you don't need to eat it. Thank you.
And now we're here in the kitchen with Chef Tom, and we're going to do some cooking with plums today. What are we going to make?
Hello, we are. We're gonna make a fish dish. We're gonna use some Iowa barramundi. It's from just up the road in Webster City, nice. Iowa's first barramundi. We're gonna do that with a plum sauce that has ginger.
Let's get started.
I'll start with the plums that we want to roast. Here's a plum that I left just so we could see how to deal with one. There's a little midline here, so we're gonna wanna follow that line around and to get the pit out nicely. These are nice and ripe, so there's not really a problem getting the pit out. So there's the pit. We'll just take the point of this knife and take that one out.
All right. So you just cut them in half.
A little olive oil.
Make sure they all get a little drizzle.
And just a little salt. And I'll pop them in the oven for you.
How long do you roast them?
15 minutes at 375. I've got some done.
And you want them to just be nice and gushy.
Nice and soft. They've caramelized a little bit. We know when things caramelize, when they brown, that's when the magic happens. Cut a couple here. And there we are.
All right. And those, we set them aside for use in a little while, right?
Yep. Now we're going to take the fish, dust it with a little Szechuan peppercorn, which I've cracked.
Are you finding it a lot easier to get different kinds of fish in Iowa nowadays?
Yes, especially when they raise it here. This is a real boon to us. And it's some of the nicest farm fish I've ever used.
Oh, great.
Szechuan peppercorn, a little salt. And I'll get some olive oil in this pan right here. Nice and smoking hot. And I'll sear that. Good. Good sizzle. And I think while we do that, we'll make a little baby bok choy. We're going to do a little braised baby bok choy as an accompaniment to the fish dish. So in this other pan here, we'll also start in olive oil.
And you're just using the bottom part of the bok choy.
Yep.
All right.
The stalk, trim the leaves off, cut it in half the long way.
Nice tender part of the plant.
Yep. These are from the farmer's market. And we'll let those cook a little bit. Okay, our bok choy is ready to be finished off. We'll flip it over here.
That's just a little bit of browning on the cut side.
Nice
is what
and
we're looking
caramelized.
for. All right.
We've got a little red onion. Some rice vinegar. Vegetable broth. Salt. And some ginger.
Nice.
I'll just take these fish out.
All right.
Just leave a thin film of oil on the pan. I've got some shallots, some ginger.
And this is what will become the plum sauce,
This
right?
will become the plum sauce. Cup and a half of white wine. This is Riesling. It goes well.
Look at that color. That's beautiful.
Yep. Exquisite, nice deep red color. And we're just going to let this boil down, reduce until it's really the consistency of a syrup. So most of the liquid will be gone. And we're going to use butter to create a pan sauce out of this.
All right, so we've simmered the bok choy.
We're ready to put it all on the plate.
Perfect.
All right. We've got our braised bok choy, a little of that red onion,
Lovely. The bok choy is nice and tender.
okay? And we'll finish this pan sauce. Put in just a little bit of butter,
Just a little.
just a little. Remember, it's for 4. You're not going to eat a soup bowl of it or anything.
That's what you think.
It's all okay. And I usually just kind of work on this on and off the heat with a heat-proof rubber spatula. I like the way these get into the corners and work the butter in gradually because we're trying to form an emulsion. It's chemistry here, so we're trying to get that butter to take the place of any flour that would traditionally have been used in sauces, and just kind of make it an all butter, all flavor
Yum. Wow.
experience, and all its thickness and richness is coming from that butter. That is ready.
The color is just so beautiful. I'm sure it's as delicious as it looks, but that really makes the presentation pop, doesn't it?
Yes, there it is. Pan-seared barramundi with Szechuan peppercorns, plums, and ginger.
Wonderful. And
And
I
braised baby bok choy.
really want to try some of this plum sauce. Just looks wonderful.
Yep. I would agree.
That is so rich. Wow. Chef Tom, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, we've had our main course. Now it's time for dessert, right?
Time for dessert.
And plums are a pretty good dessert all on their own, but you're going to make them something amazing.
Out of hand, a good dessert, but made into a plum granita.
And what is a granita?
A granita is like a sorbet. Its virtue is that you don't need an ice cream freezer to make it. You can just make it in a freezer.
Nice.
You just put it in a glass dish, give it a stir every once in a while,
Let it freeze.
and it's doing it on its own.
Before we get to that, we're going to make a little something to go with
A little
it, right?
something on the side, a little crunch moment, some lemon thyme shortbread.
Yum. Okay.
Flour, powdered sugar, pinch of salt, lemon zest,
All right.
and some thyme. A little chilled butter. And then I'm just going to reach in and mix it up just to make sure all the little cubes are coated with flour so they kind of break into smaller and smaller particles.
All right.
I think they're all on their own now. We're going to add a little lemon juice to pull it all together.
All right, so you finished the dough,
Did.
rolled it into a log, and refrigerated that for a while?
It's all chilled.
All right, wonderful.
Ready to
So
slice and bake.
Next step.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll slice these. Maybe you can put them on.
Sure.
Send them your way. Pop them in for about 18 minutes. We're going to make the granita now. So I've got some quartered plums here. Just beautiful color.
Yeah.
Water.
And of course, there are many varieties of plums. It could just be any kind.
These are black plums, and they have very good color. Others would work as well.
All right. Some sugar.
Some sugar. And 5 whole allspice.
And then as you get this incorporated, how long do you cook it down?
15 minutes.
15 minutes,
Yeah.
all right.
And they'll get quite soft in that time. We'll be ready to put them in a food processor and strain them and make our granita mix.
Wonderful. All right, so this has simmered for 15 minutes. They're good and soft. We've already fished the allspice out.
They're out.
So time for final ingredients, right?
Just a couple to go. Lime zest and juice of 1 lime, and just a tiny bit, a 1/4 teaspoon about, of vanilla extract.
All right, and we stir those in. Do we simmer again or just
No, indeed.
time to move on? All right. So after we simmered and added the final ingredients, then we went to an ice bath.
Yes, yep.
Cool that down.
Yep.
Pureed it in the food processor. and then strained all the little pieces out, and now we have this beautiful
Got all the good
smooth-
stuff.
Yeah, that's lovely. So what happens
Ready
next?
to put in a dish. Just exquisite color. I just love
Oh,
that.
it is so beautiful.
And we're just gonna find a flat spot in the freezer where it won't be disturbed and come back every so often and give it a stir. After 2 hours, it'll look something like this one we have right over here.
All right. And you do want to stir it every now and again. So stir after
Yeah.
about 2 hours and then every hour after that?
Yeah, just bring it in from the sides here. You can see how it's kind of solidified on the sides. So stir it together.
And what does the stirring do for us?
It's gonna give you a smooth consistency because we're trying to make something that's akin to a sorbet, but we're not gonna use the ice cream freezer that's stirring it constantly. It's just these little solid masses we wanna break up a few times during the process.
All right. And then after 5 hours, it's ready to serve.
And that'll
right?
really, yeah, after 5 hours, scoopable, wonderful, refreshing frozen dessert.
The freezer has done its work. This is beautiful.
Beautiful, just a great color.
Yeah.
Let's scoop one.
All right. I'm so eager to try this. And it does look like a sorbet.
All right, a couple of shortbread.
Yes, very important. Let's see what it tastes like.
Go, I'll try a little bit too.
Oh, that is so good.
Wow, yeah, I just love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's fabulous. Chef Tom, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Charity. Thank you. That was great.
Look, Cook, and Eat. It's an online magazine designed to teach people with intellectual or learning disabilities how to cook.
Is that hot?
It's created by Sue Haas, who has a sister with an intellectual disability and a passion for serving that community.
I got the idea from my work at a coffee shop here in Des Moines called Plymouth Grounds, and it is a job training site for young people with intellectual disabilities. I learned a lot about how interested they are in cooking and decided to take it to my business partners with the idea of maybe we should give this a try. There is nothing out there like it.
Sue and her partners used their extensive experience with food magazine publishing to come up with a unique way to use technology rather than a traditional cookbook to deliver recipes.
We're going to make that spinach salad. Do you want to touch the spinach salad? Good job. If you've never had a spinach salad before, you just might like this one.
Sue doesn't underestimate her audience's abilities or interests. Each issue has a number of menus to choose from, including panko pork chops, Chinese chicken salad, and cheeseburger pizza. The meals are interesting, delicious, well-balanced, and they don't rely on processed food. Look, Cook, and Eat guides users through the process of making a meal from start to finish. Every recipe is set up the same way, using no more than 9 ingredients and 9 tools.
Okay, Angela, hit the cook button. Step 1. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees. Put the skillet on the stove. Turn the burner on to medium-high, 7 or 8 if your stove has numbers. Add the ground beef to the skillet. That's what we're gonna do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Angela?
Yes, I am.
Can you find medium-high on that dial? Okay, Angela, do you want to put the meat in the skillet?
Okay.
Give Charlie the spoon. It isn't intimidating, and hopefully that gets them one step further into the kitchen, because the kitchen itself can be intimidating. There's hot things, there are sharp things, and we try to cover that stuff in a video and help encourage them to not be afraid.
For those of you watching at home, it smells amazing. So
We've been really, really surprised at how well these recipes have turned out. 9 ingredients seems like not very many, and some of them have fewer than 9 ingredients, but ta-da, we can make really great food without a lot of complicated ingredients or a long list of things and process and all that sort of thing. Boy, I'd have you in my kitchen anytime helping out. Actually, you're doing it all. I'm the helper. You're doing you're doing everything.
Thank you.
Yep, right there. Bravo, very good.
Of course, Sue wants her clients to like the recipes, but what she really hopes they get out of it are valuable skills and increased confidence that will translate into other areas of their lives. The great meal at the end of it all is a welcome bonus.
We take it for granted, cooking and managing in the kitchen. I've been in a kitchen since I was 10 years old and never was told I couldn't do something in there. And I think that people with disabilities are sometimes underestimated, you know? It takes some time, it takes a little bit of encouragement, but there's no reason that anybody with a disability could not do this type of thing for themselves. There's no reason at all. Ooh, way to go. Way to go. Proud of you.
That's it for this episode. Thank you for admiring Iowa's bounty with us. I'm Charity Nebbe. See you next time for another food-filled journey on Iowa Ingredient. As you can probably guess, the Iowa Ingredient staff appreciates everything about the food scene in Iowa. And in 2016 and early 2017, we visited the restaurants, farms, and other locations showcased on this program. But circumstances can change, so we encourage you to check ahead if you're planning a visit of your own. We hope you get the chance to get out there and enjoy Iowa's fabulous food experiences for yourself.
Funding for Iowa Ingredient has been provided by a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust, Chef Lisa Laval of Trellis Cafe and Chef Michael Laval of the Des Moines Embassy Club. For more than 100 years, the Des Moines Embassy Club has provided a place to dine, celebrate, and do business. Located in downtown Des Moines and in West Des Moines, details are at embassyclub.com. Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation.